and welcome to Fake Gamer Bro. I am your fakest gamer bro, Jackie, aka Jax, pronouns they, them, and I'm here to talk about mobile games I love and love to hate. Today, we are going to be talking about a story-based game called Burnable Garbage Day that came out at the end of 2018. It is on both the App Store and the Google Play Store, and according to the description on its page, it is a story about an abandoned planet neglected by humankind become a mountain of garbage. On this planet, by chance, a robot wakes up. Programmed as a cleaning robot, he begins to clean up the trash in front of him. Just one robot was going to clean this mountain of garbage's planet. It is done by the company Game On Co. I believe this is their first game. It's the only game I'm seeing on the Google Play Store of theirs. It is pretty obviously translated. It's got I wouldn't say it's got a lot of translation issues. It's just kind of clunky. So I assume that English probably wasn't super fluid for whoever translated it. You can still understand what's going on like 99% of the time. It's just like, yeah, this is obviously kind of clunky. It's still very good. So yeah, you are a cleaning robot in a post-apocalyptic world. One of the first things you do is you uncover 5 children who are going to basically reproduce and inherit the world. However, pretty quickly you also come across settlements that also have people on them, and you think they're survivors, but no, they're aliens. So it's a really cool game. It's got a lot of interesting concepts in it. It is labeled as a simulation game, which, one day I'm going to understand genres more and be able to describe these more accurately. But what it is there's trash. You have so much energy to click on the trash and clean it up. Most trash is one click, but then you end up coming across bigger trash that takes more clicks to break it down into smaller pieces of trash. You'll come across frozen trash and hot trash and polluted trash and stuff like that. So more things evolve that you have to get upgrades to clean up. The energy does dwindle over time. You get more energy as you level up. You also get batteries throughout the game to immediately up your energy. And you might hear that if you're, into mobile games. You might hear that and go, oh, that sounds like a really easy way for them to, get money out of you is by making you buy battery packs. So you can watch advertisements to get new battery packs, but I swear to God, you will never need them in this game. You get so many battery packs. Maybe at the beginning, you might watch an ad or two if you're, really set on going through it, but you get so many battery packs in this game, I could never use it up. Speaking of advertisements, there are advertisements. I can't remember if it's every level up or every 10 levels up. The reason I can't remember is you can pay $3 to get rid of all advertisements, and it's a really fun game, and I like supporting games that I like, and that is the only purchase you need to make in the game is to get rid of ads. And so it's a good $3 game. Definitely worth the $3. It has a very sweet story that it takes some surprising emotional turns. A lot of it is pretty much oh no, look at all this garbage and how it affects the wildlife and everything else. Oh my God, there is one level that is just, you see dead animals everywhere. There's one that has got skeletons and stuff, and that's fine. But there's one that's just oh, that's a dead seagull. Okay, great. And that's just filled with dead animals. It is a lot. But yeah, it ends up having a much more touching story than you might give it credit for at first. There are multiple endings that really kind of fuck you up. I've only gotten 2 endings. I think there's 3. I think it does kind of like an Undertale thing that you beat it on one ending and then you get the option to get the true ending. But I've only beaten it like that the one time. I started to go through again, but I just didn't finish beating it because as much as I love this game, I do not want to play it twice. I played it again to get refreshed on it because I played this a year ago to tell you guys about it, and it's just as fun as it is. I think once you understand all the emotional beats that are going to happen and you get the concept, it's not really as fun playing through it a second time. Just because there's so much. it is just a game that you can go on and you play for 5 minutes clicking and cleaning up trash. There's also towns and ruins. So the towns you go to and you fulfill quests for the people in the town. A lot of them look human, some of them look like animals, like there's a bear and a dolphin. One looks like I don't know the actual word for it, but you know those like Japanese hot dogs, those octopus looking hot dogs you see in bento boxes? One of them's that. So they got a lot of neat characters in there, and that's really a lot of it. Like the characters from the villages, they repeat. Like you'll see the same ones in all the villages, except for like every 5 quests you do, you get a special quest that's just for that town. And they have like special things, and usually it's a through line. Like there's this one person who has like he's building a statue for his town, and so uh every 5 quests, he has a quest that's about the statue or about his work on the statue or whatever, and you have to get him specific items that you find throughout the world. Some of them you find from ruins, some of them the towns make, um, and some of them are just like you clean up the trash and like plant life or other resource things come back and you get like apples or I think aloe vera is one of them, stuff like that. So there's a lot to do. Honestly, if you have a lot of battery packs, you can probably blow through the whole game pretty quickly if you have this time to sit down and do that. You end up finding other things. I don't want to spoil it because finding finding this thing happens about halfway through the game, I think, and I don't know. I think it's just more impactful if you get to it yourself, but it really adds kind of another layer to the whole thing. It's really just a fun and quirky game, like, even with the translation kind of weirdness, like, some of the stuff is so fucking funny. Like, there is one girl that will show up in all the towns, just one of the, like, the regular quests you get, and, her thing is that, like, "Hey, get me this item, I'm trying to win over a boy," and you give it to her, and she's like, "Yes, now he'll be mine." And it's, like, kind of cute for stuff like, "Get me an apple," but, like, at one point, you can, like, get her a knife, and it's like, "Okay, sure thing." Another thing that I think is interesting about all the villagers is they will refer to the robot differently. Like, in the description, he, him pronouns are used, and for the most part, like, 9 times out of 10, the people are going to refer to you as male, but sometimes, like, there's this one dude who will call you an old lady. It's very funny. I don't know if that's, like, part of the translation thing where it's actually a gender neutral term or whatever, and they just went with old lady for the translation, but yeah, you get called young man, old man, everything. It's really neat. So, yeah, there's all these different environments that you clean up. Like, there's desert environments, jungle, ocean, just a whole bunch of stuff. And you have like unique stuff. You have like themed stuff for all of it. Like, in the ocean, you get coconut water, and like the towns produce like swimsuits and stuff. So I think it's a really neat take on post-apocalyptic stuff because like they have a lot of the old technology like in the ruins, like you can get like soccer balls and board games and swords and just a bunch of stuff. And then they're like forging their own path and doing new things, and it's interesting like that, I think. I don't know, I feel like it just like balances the line between being kind of funny, quirky, and having a commentary on climate stuff and corporations and everything like that, and then having like a really emotional like through line that doesn't super have a lot to do with that. It's very good. It balances a lot, and I think it does it really, really well. And it's a game that you can just play for 5 minutes at a time and still feel like you're making progress, which I really like. One beef that someone else brought up with me, it's not really a big beef, it's probably more nitpicky, is I didn't pay it huge attention to the timeline, but throughout the game, like 100 years go by. Like at one point, you get a call from like one of the children that you brought up in like the beginning of the game, and they're like, "Hey, 30 years have gone by. I have like my own kid now," and stuff like that. And apparently, the timeline doesn't like super match up with some stuff. I just never paid attention. I just let that shit go right on by me. But if you pay a lot of attention to timelines and like how things like work out like that and continuity type stuff, it might bug you a bit. But if you're just there for like, fun, clicky, clear away trash, like I think that's why I like it because I like cleaning the most when it's like I can see stuff being like gotten rid of. Like if someone has like this old fridge that like we just bought from like some random ass person, it's like, cool, we need to clean it up. It's like just seeing like a trashy fridge and you wipe it away everything and it's like it looks brand new now. That's kind of how it is in the game. It's like you see these lands filled with trash and then when you're done with it, like it's completely different. Like bushes will appear, you uncover roads and towns and trees and a whole bunch of stuff like that. And it's just like cool. You feel like you're accomplishing something. And I really like that. And yeah, and even if you need something more to hook you than just cleaning stuff up, you also have like in the description of the game the questions, why is the planet so full of debris? Why was the main character created? What awaits you at the end of the story? And more questions pop up throughout the game and like some get answered and some just lead to more questions and it all gets wrapped up pretty neatly at the end. And I don't know, it's a really sweet game. It is a lot of fun, more so the first time than the second time because like the first time you're like discovering things. This is why I'm trying not to give a lot of spoilers for it because like all the new discoveries are very interesting and that's kind of like what a lot of the game is about. Whereas the second time is like I think I spent so long looking forward to like the first big discovery that the first part of the game was just really slow for me. But it's not if this is all new to you and it's a lot of fun. Also, I do realize that I said in the last episode I might be talking about Merchant this time, but I did say might or probably or whatever I said. That was not a guarantee. I completely forgot about it by the time I was playing this game to review it. So I will be covering Merchant in 2 weeks, and I'll also probably be covering Guildmasters, which is I'll get into it there, but it's similar to Merchant. And then after that, I'm probably going to go for some new games I haven't played yet, but that's a month away. Who knows what's going to happen? For now, yes, play the Burnable Garbage Day, be a lovely robot who just wants to clean, and his sassy voice helper AI named Beery, and yeah, clean the world, uncover the mysteries, figure out what the hell happened, give gifts to aliens. It's great. Yeah, I realize this is a bit of a shorter one this time. I think from now on I'm gonna try to do 2 games just to kind of buff out the length for it since I am doing this every 2 weeks. But Burnable Garbage Day, really, really good. Really enjoy it. Definitely go play it. Definitely, pay for it. Like, get rid of the ads because it's worth it. And I will see you in 2 weeks to talk about Merchant and Guild Masters. In the meantime, you can find me at Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook groups, as Fake Gamer Bro. You can find me on Patreon at Jax Yaks. And speaking of Patreon, thank you very much to Danny Yeager, a longtime supporter of the previous show, the time where there was no show and I was just paying for hosting, and then the show again. So thank you very much. If you'd like a shout out on the show or to get episodes early or any other number of things, I also do poetry writing every Friday, and I got some other bonus stuff from old episodes and old things. Yeah, go to patreon.com/jaxyaks and sign up for as little as $1 a month. Also, if you have a game you want me to play, I'm currently Android only, but I am hopefully going to be getting I'm hopefully going to be getting an iOS device before too long. Feel free to message me on Twitter or any of the social sites I mentioned, or email me at fakegamerbro@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in 2 weeks.